You see that? You see that? EPA rules and regulations are too strong on us. It's unreal, man. I got 6 fault codes right now. I just got done spending almost $8,000 in the last month and a half on emissions related garbage. It's not working. You fix it and it's problematic again. It breaks down again. Sensors, DEF filter, injector harnesses, after treatment, DPFs, the DEF fluid, DEF, and all the other sensors, the temperature sensors, inlet, outlet for NOx. It's all garbage. All of it. It's not working. I've been talking to so many trucking companies, owner-operators. I'm an owner-operator myself, and it is just overwhelmingly ridiculous. Look at that crap. Bull crap. DEF quality. The lamp fog, forget about that. DEF quality. Coolant temp, that's going to be erased pretty soon because I did have a coolant temp problem trying to do a regen. I didn't wait the 15-20 minutes to cool off my vehicle because I'm on e-logs, so I didn't really have the time. But I'm down to 5 freaking miles per hour. 5 freaking miles per hour. Well, you should have seen all the warning signs and all that kind of stuff, and you knew you get derated to 5 miles per hour. Yeah, I was derated at 55 miles per hour first, pulled off to the side of the road, shut down because, I have all these check engine lights and stuff like that. Turn it back on. I try to do a regen. It started overheating on me, so it shut off the regen portion. I shut the vehicle off again, looked under the hood. My fluids are fine. It's just trying to do a regen, right after you come right off the road. You're supposed to wait about 15-20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, to cool everything down before you start that regen process, a stopped regen. And then turn it on again. I go down the road 55 miles per hour, stuck in 55 miles per hour, derated. Get down to the TA in Fultonville, New York. Fuel up. My goal was to take it down to a Freightliner. As soon as I get done getting my coffee and my fuel receipt and I go inside, unfreaking real. What do you know? I have a red stop light on my vehicle, on the dashboard. I stop the engine again, check everything out, and it's the stupid D-rate of 5 miles per hour. I've been stuck here since Friday night. It's now Monday morning. Nobody in the country wants to work on the weekends. And we're a 24-hour facility trying to move freight in our country to help make America great again. But no one wants to work on the weekend. Come to find out, no one wants to do, TA can't do it because they don't want to risk the threads. Most likely are going to break apart. They're going to have to rethread it. They don't have the rethreading tool. There's no Freightliner, but Albany is like 34 miles east. And then the Freightliner that is west of me is like 46 or 47 miles. I'm at 5 miles per hour. I'm forced to get a mom and pop shop that's a half a mile down the road that won't return my phone call. I left a nice, short voicemail saying that I wish to have service done on my truck. Call me back. Nobody wants to call me back. I called M.W. Roosevelt's, 14 miles, west of here. And they're willing to do it. They looked into it for me. They have a rethreading tool because most likely the hot temperatures on the DPF and exhaust section of the one box is high temperature, so it's problematic with the getting them off and putting them back on. It's going to most likely need rethreading. So I'm going to travel at 5 miles per hour for 14 miles with my hazards on, because I've already spent 17 grand on this truck. $8,500 for a deposit, converting my lease to purchase into a loan. $4,000 bill on having a header put in for the DEF and miscellaneous things done with it. They even checked the depth pressure sensor. That light was going on at the time. Nothing wrong with it. There's other things wrong. They didn't know, so I didn't take it to a Freightliner. I would have to take it to a Freightliner, so I took it to a Freightliner last week, and they fixed $3,500 worth of stuff on it. A total of almost $8,000 with tax since Christmas time. Only a month and a half. And now I'm between all of the payments, the deposit comes out to $17,000, and I'm gonna spend another grand today because I'm gonna travel at 5 miles per hour, because I can't afford a $450 14-mile tow bill with the tractor and trailer. It's $300 for the tractor, another $150 for the trailer attached to it. So your EPA bullshit is exactly that. It's bullshit, it's garbage, it's failing. You're fired. EPA, you are fired. Every single day, thousands of people say you are fired. This is wrong, man. It's not working. It's not ethical. It's not a place to make this America great again. You're worsening everything. You're causing a domino snowball effect. Okay? My rant is valid. This is not just bitching and moaning. This is an epidemic, red alert situation. It's stunting our economy, and the big fleets know of this and it's going to swallow, this epidemic's going to swallow the small businesses, the smaller fleets, 100 units or less, or until the one unit, the owner operators, and it's going to take them out of business. Everybody's trying to find out how can they bypass the system. It's illegal to. People are buying older vehicles now that are pre-emissions. They're buying Fitzgerald's glider kits, which I'm going to do because I'm done with this. It's over $5,000 a year, and I've already spent what it should be. It shouldn't be, first of all, but what it's supposed to be, according to my paperwork, over $5,000 a year on parts and labor to emissions only, to these emission trucks that are new. And I've already spent almost $8,000 in a month and a half. It hasn't even been a year yet, and it's over the $5,000. I'm just so pissed off right now. It's not working. I want everybody to attend this matter to the Trump administration. These emissions with the EPA are just what had happened. Here's the answer. The Obama administration tried to go above and beyond, setting rules and regulations. Yeah, we're all for clean air and stuff like that. But what had happened is you set a time limit that wasn't reasonable. and you up those measures every single year, and you're still trying to do that, and you're forcing all of the vehicles on the production line that build these engines and the vehicles to make them aerodynamic and more fuel efficient and have less CO2 emissions and NOx and all that kind of stuff, so that we get cleaner air. Well, they made these things just in the nick of time, crossing their fingers that it would work. It's not working. They're having the trucks come back into the shops. We are the ones who have to pay for it. The warranties run out eventually, and then we start spending $5,000+ a year. The downtime is usually equal to what the parts and labor is. So if I'm spending $5,000, or Joe is, or Sally, or Sam are spending, like, say, $3,000 a year, $7,000 a year, whatever it happens to be, mine is $5,000+ a year. Let's just say $5,000. My downtime is equal to the parts and labor. It just happens to be right in that ballpark. So let's call it $5,000 plus $5,000 is $10,000 a year that I am spending. Do the math, and that's that's almost $1,000 a month. That's like $220, $230, $235 a week if you spread out those into incremental payments on how much it costs to run my business, just on the emission side, the aspect of it alone. Okay? This is LJ. You guys have a good one. Do something about it. Alright. Comments down below. Tell me what you're experiencing. You have a good one. I wish you guys the best. Get a Fitzgerald's glider kit. That's what I recommend. I highly recommend it. Do it. Or get yourself an older vehicle, refurbish the whole thing, and just wait out the storm until they do something about the EPA standards, and holding accountable the making this stuff work. Different timelines on furthering out the timeline or something. I'm all for clean air, but it's not working. All right, there needs to be a happy medium. You need to work with us. That's the answer. We want to move America, okay, and get your stuff and things on the shelves. You consumers out there that are buying goods and services, your stuff is going up like 15, 20, 25%. So for every $1,000 that you're spending and your goods and services are 25% more, you're spending an additional $250, and that's a total of $1,250. The government is not really fast to do stuff because they're collecting all of this tax revenue generated without increasing the taxes. Nobody wants taxes to be increased and all that kind of stuff, and having our goods and services go up because of our taxes. So what happens is you make it so that the freight goes up, the cost of goods and services goes up, even though the tax level is the same. The product goes way up, and that tax margin, the revenue generated now, goes skyrocketing. They're not going to do it. The government's not going to do anything about it until you do something. All you congressmen, your House of Representatives, and in the Trump campaign, you need to do something, man. It's not working. This is a red alert epidemic across the nation, several years. It's not getting better. It's actually getting worse, because now the vehicles are at the age where all of this thing is starting to dump at all angles to the trucking industry. A lot of trucking companies, the bigger ones, are actually loving it because they're getting more freight now. Companies like Prime don't allow their vehicles to be over 3 years old. They chew them up, spit them out, and they don't have to deal with it. The warranty covers it. They might have some problems, which is still problematic in a new vehicle. You're starting to drive it, and they're still consistently faulting. The downtime, your product, goods and services is going up through the roof, and they could absorb all that. You know, they have the ability to buy brand new trucks. 2 or 3 years later, they turn them in and get new ones, and they make it big that way. While all the smaller companies, the smaller fleets, which by the way is like 85-90% of the whole freight being moved, is by small fleets. Look it up yourself if you don't believe me. The pie, the large fleets of, like, you know, 1,000, you know, 10,000 units, they don't have a problem with buying brand new vehicles all the time, using them for 2 or 3 years, and then cashing them in. They're loving it. They're getting more and more and more freight, while all of the smaller guys are closing shop. This is an epidemic. It concerns every state. Okay, so look into the matter. You guys have a good one. This is Lance Crossman Sr. You can call me LJ. You take care.